So news broke this week, of course, I'm sure everybody's seen it by this point, that yes, the Department of Justice is in fact targeting Donald Trump in their ongoing investigation. Mark Short, Mike Pence's former chief of staff, has already talked to the grand jury last week. You have other folks that have actually cooperated with the January 6th committee that are now cooperating also with the DOJ investigation. Cassidy Hutchinson is one of them. That was announced late on Wednesday. So the investigation is ticking up. Things are looking bad for Donald Trump, especially with that treasure trove of emails released from the New York Times that directly ties all of Trump's lawyers and possibly Trump himself into the fake elector scheme. So naturally, you would expect Donald Trump to have a meltdown and release some kind of idiotic statement trying to downplay what's happening. And we got it! Donald Trump on Tuesday evening sent out a series of truths on Truth Social. And this is what he had to say. Actually, before I even tell you what he had to say, let me put it this way. You got to understand the framing here. What Trump is about to do in this statement I'm going to read, he's testing out his legal defense. Right? He's workshopping it. He's putting it out there in the ether so that if he ends up going to trial for, being indicted, he can say, well, look, I've been saying this for a long time. This has been my rationale the whole time. So anyway, having said that, here is this statement. Bear with me, folks. It's a long, crazy one. Just more disinformation by the Democrats, like the Russia scam, impeachment hoax number 1, impeachment hoax number 2, the long-running Mueller report, which ended in no collusion, and so much more. Now that we have found the answers to these crooked election-changing events, why is the Justice Department not prosecuting those responsible? Plenty of time left. People forget this is all about a rigged and stolen election. But rather than go after the people that rigged and stole it, they go after the people that are seeking honesty and truth and have freedom of speech and many other defenses on their side. Justice Department should look at the crime of the century. Evidence is massive and irrefutable. He continues, the Georgia phone calls were perfect. Many people and lawyers on both sides were knowingly on the one call. I assume the call was taped. There were 0 complaints or angry how dare you charges made during the call, and no hang-ups by anyone aggrieved or insulted at what was said. They were perfect calls. I was just doing my job as president and seeking fairness and the truth. The election was rigged and stolen. The election was not rigged. It was not stolen. Joe Biden won legitimately. Donald Trump lost legitimately. And the reason I have to say that is because if we don't point that out in every single video that we talk about it, YouTube will hit you for that and put a strike on it. So just so everybody knows, in case there's anything not clear, I'm not saying that the election was stolen. Those were quotes from Donald Trump. The election was not stolen. He's a moron. Let's dissect it. It's that last statement, right? Actually, I guess second to last, because his last statement was the election was rigged and stolen. No, it wasn't. I was just doing my job as president and seeking fairness and the truth. I was just doing my job. Okay, so we're going with the old Nuremberg defense, aren't we? I was just following orders here. But no, listen. The reason that line is important and the reason he included it is because should he be indicted, right? Should he stand before a jury, the only possible defense he could have, according to legal experts, is to successfully have his legal team argue that he was just fulfilling his job as president to make sure everything was on the level. We don't want any discrepancies. We want to make sure this was all legit. I'm doing my job. I'm doing my due diligence by ordering all these things to happen. Several problems with it, though. First and foremost, by admitting that you did it, you're admitting that you did it. And I don't think he realizes that. I was just doing my job. Okay, so you admit that you did it, though. That's going to hurt your legal defense, by the way. This statement that you think is going to help build your legal defense actually took it down a peg. Secondly, we now have leaked audio from Steve Bannon from October of 2020, before the election even happened, where he told a group of people that he was already telling you to claim the election was rigged and stolen. So there's the premeditation part. You can't claim at this point that you were just doing your job and following where the truth was leading when you had already planned to do that even before you knew you were going to lose the election. So your legal defense right there, and I'm not even a lawyer, was just destroyed by me. And by me, I mean basically the reporters who, had uncovered all of this and put it out there in the ether. And if I can do that without a law degree, without having passed the bar, imagine what an actual skilled attorney could do with it in court. I personally believe that Donald Trump does not have a legal leg to stand on here. But it is grossly transparent what he is attempting to do. He is workshopping this legal defense because it's the only possible one he could use. And not only have we already debunked his legal defense, but for the prosecutors who may eventually get this case, you've now shown your hand, Donald. You've told them exactly what you're going to do, which is going to give them months to prepare a perfect prosecution to pick it apart. So you're failing on quite possibly every single front. But you're too narcissistic to do the smart thing, which is to keep your lip closed and say nothing. Hey everyone, this is Aspen. And did you know that for the low cost of $0 per day, you can subscribe to the Fair and Balanced YouTube channel? We also encourage you to like, comment, and share, but again, click that subscribe button and help Aspen not be so grumpy.